Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and boom, we got Spider-Man special event quests landing in the game, going on for the next like 12 or 14 days, probably leading us up to the next sort of patch, which will be for presumably the endgame update and reworks, and we'll talk about that later because there's already something in the game that's there. I don't know if it's on purpose or by accident, but we'll get to it. So you're going to collect these Spider-Man tokens, and the event is pretty straightforward, and then you'll be able to trade in the tokens for pretty awesome rewards. And the nice thing about this particular event is they appear to be doing these more often, almost after every update, and these tokens and these events have rewards for every type of player. So I have to say, as far as giving back to the player base, this is by far the best way that Netmarble does it, and this one is the most consistent in terms of giving something for new players like the Mega Rank Up ticket, and then giving something for veterans like the CCF or other materials. And I mean, damn, look at this splash page. You could definitely be finding this on like a Spider-Man PS4 splash page. The level of detail, the graphics, the quality, the text, everything is just amazing. As far as the visual presentation goes, we know, I said it in the video earlier today, Netmarble is number one. You know, they don't have any competition in the mobile sphere. And so if you hit up the event quest tab at the bottom, you'll see it's 50 tokens per day. It's 9 days and change, so it's 10 days total, so you get 500 tokens. In addition to that, you'll be able to purchase more tokens. Now, these packs are normally comparable to the Offer for Agents pack. Offer for Agents number 2 is the same as this number 1, and then Offer for Agents number 3 is a little similar, but a little bit less expensive than that one over there, number 2. But in particular for number 1 over here, which is 3,300 crystals, I do need to point one thing out. The number of biometrics you get compared to the Offer for Agents number 2 is a lot less. So we'll talk about that in a little bit more detail later, but on average I rate this one probably like a 3 out of 10, the number 2, and I rate the number 1 as probably like a 4 out of 10. They're below average sales. If they give a little bit more tokens, or if they give a little bit more in addition to the tokens, perhaps they would be, you know, much greater sales, but I think they're just for people who need a lot of things from the tokens and from the event, and you'll see what is available right now. And I would imagine this is probably for higher spending players that want to catch up, because if you purchase tokens, you can grab, you know, a Mega Rank Up ticket, you could grab a 6-star Rank Up ticket, you could, you know, technically you could rank up multiple characters in one shot by just investing $40 or $80, and you could spread out your value quite a bit. Now, in terms of the rewards, we've talked about them before, but of course the absolute best reward for new players is all the way on the left, right over my head. It's the Mega Rank Up ticket. It costs the full number of tokens, but it is well worth your time. You can use this to take a 1-star Sentinel or a 1-star Nick Fury, etc., immediately up to 6 stars. You're going to have to work on their gears from there, and you can now put crystals into their gears, but otherwise you can still have a solid tier 1 character. But if you happen to pull a 4 or a 5-star version of a character, let's say Weapon Hex or Gambit, from one of the premium hero chests that you get from completing a special mission quest pack or maintenance or something like that, or just from a login, then you may want to pick up a 5-star or a 6-star rank up ticket just to push you to that next level. I know a lot of people are also going to be going for 4-star rank up tickets because of Victorious and Colossus from the epic quests associated there. So those are honestly not bad choices, and for 100 tokens, that still leaves you with 400 tokens. You could pick up a 4-star rank up ticket and a tier 2 ticket, and that's a big deal. But you could also go for other things. I know a lot of players just need a few hundred more CCF. This is going to put them a lot closer. I don't know. I feel like 100 CCF for 400 tokens is a little bit expensive personally, because you could otherwise get 300 Dimension Dust. You could get the purchase twice, which I think is supposed to be Essence of Dimension. I think they didn't change the text here, but this is Essence of Dimension. And then you could also pick up, you know, 160 Titan component packs, and still have leftover tokens. The rest of the stuff after that is probably better not spent. I mean, the bios are easy to get from elsewhere, so I wouldn't recommend it. Same with the Black Antimatter and Chaos Nornstones. There's just more valuable things in the store. Now, you can get a lot of Nornstones. You can get, I believe, 1,000 Nornstones or 1,000 Black Antimatter. That's actually a lot. I will say that. It's more than they've ever given away, so it's good to see them giving more and realizing that these are more worthwhile. But then I'm not sure why they don't do that for other things, like Nornstone Selector. That should be like, you know, it should be a 500 Nornstone Selector. How can you compare in exactly the same price, by the way, Nornstones to Chaos Nornstones. But I think you'll be able to farm enough of those from World Boss. And then I know a lot of people also hit up the upgrade kits. I'm probably going to do the same. I might be purchasing one of the packs just to nail some extra kits down. But then the rest of the stuff here, energy, uniform XP chips, and gold, are probably not very worth it. Now, moving back just briefly to the two purchases that are available with tokens. And actually, if you think about it, this pack now for $40 is making this sale look a lot worse, because if you do the math on how many tokens you need to get 300 uniform upgrade kits, and then you subtract that from the 950 that you're spending, or basically add those 950 crystals to what you're getting here, you're getting like 5,000 crystals and a few leftover tokens for $40. So they should probably figure out a way to maybe stagger these sales so they're not active at the same time. I don't know, but anyways, for anybody who was thinking about purchasing these, and honestly, I was, don't do that. Just purchase these, because, I mean, unless you only have crystals and you can never spend money on the game, then of course you might not have an option. But for those of you that do spend money, this is a much better deal right now, specifically because you can trade those tokens in for uniform upgrade kits, and it's 25 tokens for 40 kits, I believe. Let me just double check that again. And so you can get a lot more. Yeah, 40 kits. So for 100 tokens, you're going to be able to get, or for I guess 125 tokens, you're going to be able to get 200 kits. And so, you know, for 300 kits, you don't even end up spending half of your tokens, or you basically end up spending half of the tokens, and you get the rest there, and then you also get the crystals and the biometric selector and the Nornstone. But speaking now of this pack in particular, it's got 60 biometrics and 60 Nornstones, and then, or 90 Nornstones, excuse me, and then 3,300 crystals. Compare that to the buffed offer for Agents number 2, and I think a lot of people have missed this one. And I'm not saying you should go and purchase this, but I'm just saying if you're just looking for crystals, or if you're just thinking about buying it, this is the same cost for me in the store. It's $40, but this one is not only 400 extra crystals, but they bumped up the biometric selector and Nornstone selector. Now instead of 90, it's 100, which, I don't know, again, Netmarble seems very stingy with Nornstones. It's only 10 more, but holy crap, look at those bios. It went from 60 to 240. They multiplied that shit by 4. So you get 4 times as much biometrics. You get almost enough biometrics to take a character to 6 stars, which is pretty solid, I would say. So for those of you that don't need the tokens, or for those of you that in the future need something to purchase, this offer actually got better, and it was one of the better deals in terms of just dollar per crystal. It's actually one of the highest returns in the game, so I wanted to point that out for you. Now let's talk about something, well, we'll talk about that in a second, sorry. Now let's just get through the rest of the events in-game. So we have a gold spending event, so you just spend 20 million gold and you'll be able to collect all these rewards. Pretty awesome. We're also going to be getting a platinum gift box in about 4 days or 3 days. It's the 8th right now, and it's going to be starting on the 11th. So you're going to be getting platinum gift box in your inventory, and then the next day from the 12th to the 22nd, which again leads us pretty close to the end of the month, right around the 23rd, which is when I expect the update to be for the endgame updates, for the endgame reworks. We're going to be getting a 7-day check-in, but it might be 1 week after that. We don't know in terms of the endgame rework, but you do get a bunch of free rewards from the 7-day check-in, so it's really nice. We basically just have rolling 7-day check-ins and rolling events now for the past few months. Netmarble, as always, very generous for new players and players who just play quite casually. Now let's talk about the other big change. Now this change you won't have noticed if you don't have Captain America's endgame uniform, and you won't notice it if you didn't have his endgame uniform equipped. So I have his endgame uniform, but as you can see, I have the team suit equipped. Now watch what happens when I go over and I equip the endgame uniform. As you can see, they've changed the thumbnail. They've changed the icon. It's right next to my head now. It's right here. And you know, some of you might be saying, well, that's not a big deal. Well, no, it is, because in Endgame, you've obviously seen it by now. He has the hat back on. He has the helmet, and it's something that we speculated on when we originally saw the uniform, and it was in game because his gear, his gear says, oh, they changed it now. Well, anyways, his gear had the helmet. It's not here anymore, but the gear had the helmet as one of the 4 items that you could upgrade, or that were whatever upgradable. Maybe it's still on the team suit. I don't know. It's not. Okay, well, you know what? It was. Believe me, it was. And so they've changed it. They've updated it to be identical to the Infinity War one, which kind of doesn't make sense because now he's got the Kevlar titanium uniform again, but whatever, it's fine. But yeah, the helmet was, I believe, the third one instead of the Kevlar titanium pants. And so that helmet character gear icon led a lot of people to believe that he was going to look like he does in the movie. He's going to have the helmet on instead of this weird sort of replacement face. And he's going to have, of course, Mjolnir, the big hammer. And another thing, just to point it out, the facial model doesn't really look anything like Chris Evans. And although we can't fault Netmarble for not being able to portray every single character, you know, inch by inch and kind of facial feature for facial feature, perfect match, they're actually very good at making a lot of the other characters look very close to their in-movie parts in the game. And you even have guys like, you know, this really looks like Benedict Cumberbatch. You also have Thor looking a lot like Thor in the movie, especially the thumbnail. Like this icon looks like a really good copy of Chris Hemsworth. You have Hulk as well, who looks very close to his in-movie model. The in-game model looks very close, but Captain America was suspiciously off. And has been since he was introduced. So I think this is just the first indication that we already have the files in game, or we have at least part of the files in game, and that we will be seeing this. I mean, we know we're going to be seeing the update. We know we're going to be seeing reworks for Endgame, but this is the first real tangible part of that coming to life. Now, I don't think it's going to continue to slip out. Like, you know, we're just going to log in one day and Tony's going to have the Infinity Gauntlet. Wait, hang on. Oh, damn. Okay. No, but seriously, I don't think we're going to log in one day and it's just going to happen by accident. My guess is that this was just an oversight by someone and they might actually roll it back. So don't be surprised if this disappears and we go back to the original character icon that we had before this. But it is starting to get me excited. You know, the Spider-Man Far From Home update, as you can probably figure if you just ask yourself or just watch my videos, has not been that much of a home run. It was more of a single. It was pretty, you know, but the Endgame rework, the Endgame sort of patch, part 3, I guess you can call it, is starting to shape up. And I, for one, am excited, and I'm hopeful that Netmarble will deliver with a grand slam. So, with that being said, let me know what you think of all the free stuff and the new events. As always, Netmarble does not delay and does not, you know, skimp on that delivery. They really smashed that one. And then let me know what you think of this boy over here and what's next for the Endgame reworks, and when are we seeing Tony? When are we seeing everybody else? How many other uniforms and characters are going to get reworked? Is Spider-Man going to slide in there? Who knows? But let's talk about it. Hit me up. Speculate with me. Subscribe if you enjoy the content and you want to support me. And of course, if you like what you see, I hope to see you tomorrow. Take care.